Former talk show host Ellen DeGeneres and wife Portia de Rossi have fled the US and moved to
being that young and being in the industry and not knowing where to turn, and everyone, telling me they love me and, will just turn their back on you in a second.
So tell me about your birthday party. Am I invited?
Yes, you're definitely invited.
When we will name names other than Sean Combs, and there's a lot of names.
Whoa, who'd have thought Diddy's celebrity connections could run this deep? And guess what? Even Ellen DeGeneres is in the mix. In a jaw-dropping twist, Justin Bieber just spilled some serious tea, and it's got Ellen DeGeneres' name all over it. After Diddy's shocking arrest, Ellen and her wife, Portia de Rossi, reportedly made a low-key move to the UK, and Justin thinks it's not just a coincidence.
DeGeneres is saying goodbye to the USA. Multiple outlets are reporting that the comedian and wife Portia de Rossi are bidding farewell to the United States and are moving across the pond to rural England.
For the past few months, we've all watched celebrities ditch the glitz and glamour of Hollywood, and we all knew why. It's because they knew they were about to get caught up in Diddy's legal mess. Even Leonardo DiCaprio was spotted leaving the country last month.
Leonardo DiCaprio has fled to Italy to avoid the P. Diddy debacle.
And now, Ellen too? Even Elon Musk allegedly claimed that the real reason she flew to the UK was to distance herself from Diddy's escalating legal battles. That's got us all wondering, did they know more about what went down behind closed doors than just being friends with Diddy? Well, buckle up because we're diving deep into this whole wild saga. Okay, so first of all, the feds already knew Diddy wasn't running his freaky activities solo. They're well aware there are bigger names, some even more famous than him, who either joined in or helped shield him legally.
When we will name names other than Sean Combs, and there's a lot of names. It's a long list already. And of course, I already know who some of these individuals are, but because of the nature of this case, we're going to make sure that we're right before we do that.
Now, it's no shock that Hollywood's A-listers are making quick exits to avoid getting grilled. But here's the kicker. What Ellen allegedly knew, or even participated in, takes this to a whole new level. It's so big that even Justin Bieber had to speak up about it. Given all the buzz on the internet lately, you probably already heard how Justin's been tied to Diddy since the moment he stepped into the music scene at just 15 years old. Remember that footage from 2009? The two were spotted chatting about spending a crazy weekend together. Diddy called it 48 Hours with Diddy, hinting that they couldn't spill all the details, but it was definitely a teenage dream come true.
Where would you like to go?
Wherever you want to go. Where are we going?
So check this out, yo. Justin, you ever seen the movie 48 Hours? Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives, where we hanging out and what we doing.
You can only imagine what Justin went through during those 48 hours with Diddy. It must have been a total disaster. This might explain why Justin has been so protective of Billie Eilish since she first started her career.
I just want to protect her, I don't want her to...
But before we get into Justin's wild ride, let's take a step back and now look at how Ellen could somehow be tied to Diddy's questionable behavior. Now this is where it gets really interesting. It turns out Diddy might have worked with Ellen in something much darker than anyone expected. Allegedly, to have someone close to her taken out. That someone? Twitch. Yep, the DJ from the Ellen DeGeneres show. Twitch was already a star after So You Think You Can Dance Season 4. In 2014, he became Ellen's official DJ. By 2020, he was promoted to executive producer of the show. But here's the shocking part. 2 years later, Twitch was found dead in a Los Angeles hotel at just 40 years old. The official report said it was a self-inflicted gunshot wound, and they didn't find any signs of foul play. They even found a note where Twitch talked about his struggles. But here's the thing, his family wasn't convinced. Just the day before he was found dead, Twitch had spoken to his grandfather and his wife, and they said he didn't seem down or upset at all. So, where do Ellen and Diddy come into the picture? Allegedly, Twitch had some serious dirt on Diddy, things about his notorious freak-offs, and Diddy might have reached out to Ellen to get involved in his death. Some rumors even suggested it was Ellen who pushed Twitch into Diddy's parties, making things way more suspicious. This all came to light when conspiracy theorists on Twitter started connecting the dots. A post from Shadow of Extra revealed a jaw-dropping claim. Diddy and Twitch might have had a very questionable connection, some even speculating they could have been more than friends, after spending time together through their mutual connection, Ellen. Fast forward, and it's alleged that Twitch, armed with damning info about Diddy, was ready to expose him. This reportedly happened in 2022, and by 2023, Diddy's infamous freak-offs exploded into the public eye. Considering the alleged foul play surrounding Twitch, it's not such a wild theory to wonder if Diddy might have been involved in other mysterious celebrity deaths. I mean, we've seen this play out before, haven't we? Celebrities appearing perfectly fine, happy even, only to suddenly take their own lives under suspicious circumstances. It really makes you wonder how many stars have died under these circumstances, be it by suicide, drowning, pneumonia, or those all too common heart attack symptoms. And if you've been following Jaguar Wright's perspective, she spilled some tea that takes this theory even deeper. According to her, Diddy and his elite circles allegedly have access to substances that can mimic these symptoms, making a death look completely natural.
You know, they have poisons that create heart attack and pneumonia-like symptoms. And then right after that, Al had a meeting, and I was going to meet up with him because we were in Vegas, and then the next thing you know...
Take Craig Mack, for example, another name shockingly close to Diddy. Craig tragically passed away on March 12, 2018 at just 47 years old. Officially, his cause of death was listed as congestive heart failure. But doesn't that sound oddly familiar? Heart attacks, pneumonia, drowning, it's almost a pattern when it comes to those in Diddy's orbit. When you dig deeper into Craig's story, things get even murkier. The rift between him and Diddy wasn't just professional, it was deeply personal. It all started over money. Craig felt cheated, claiming he was never paid fairly for his contributions to their projects, including albums with Diddy and Biggie. According to Craig, there was an understanding that he'd receive a third of the profits from Diddy's projects, but those payments never showed up. Feeling betrayed, Craig cut ties with Diddy entirely. But it didn't end there. The fallout spiraled into something much darker. Craig revealed that he was harassed by Diddy's associates, who allegedly stalked him and issued chilling threats. He even called out Diddy's behavior publicly, comparing it to a bullying mafia mentality. According to Craig, Diddy and his crew put relentless pressure on him, escalating to outright death threats. He was left fearing for his life, caught in a web of intimidation that seemed impossible to escape. And then, not long after these revelations, Craig Mack passed away. And we're not stopping there, because just recently, a new name has been added to the grim list, someone who allegedly played a role in leading to Diddy's arrest. That person is none other than Jamie Foxx. Jamie and Diddy had a famously close friendship, so close that Diddy supposedly let him in on some of the freak show activities that have now come to light.
Yo, Puff, you gotta let me film this, the whole thing. We need to document this, Playboy. He was like, let him through. And I'm like, all right, I'm through.
However, last year, Jamie Foxx experienced a mysterious health scare after reportedly sharing disturbing details about events tied to Diddy. He fell into a coma, and his story seems to follow the same troubling pattern of others who got too close to the truth. Then, just last month, Choke No Joke dropped a bombshell during an interview with Comedy Hype. He revealed some shocking details from his first-hand experience attending 2 of Jamie Foxx's shows in Atlanta. According to Choke, during the tapings, Jamie directly stated Diddy was responsible for what happened to him.
Jamie Foxx states in the special that Diddy was responsible for what happened to him, and he is the one that called the FBI on him.
So it's gotta be.
Convincing? Well, not quite yet. In another jaw-dropping twist, celebrity security guard Big Homie CC has taken things even further. Following up on the earlier revelations by Choke No Joke, Big Homie also claimed that Jamie Foxx directly accused Diddy of poisoning him. And it gets even crazier. According to Big Homie, Jamie reportedly took these chilling suspicions to the FBI.
Some of the things that you heard behind the scenes that were going on before this indictment actually dropped.
Well, I know he poisoned Jamie Foxx, and Jamie Foxx reported him to the FBI because of it. I know that's a fact.
We're talking about when, what was it, a year or 2 ago or so, when Jamie Foxx got real sick and everybody said he had a stroke.
Yes.
We're talking about that, or talking about something different?
I'm talking about...
And if that's not enough to make your eyebrows raise, here's another chilling case. Kim Porter, one of the people who experienced the disturbing side of Diddy. She was not only the mother of his children, but also his on and off girlfriend for years. Officially, her death in 2018 was attributed to pneumonia, but right from the start, there were questions. The initial coroner's report hinted at foul play, with toxins found in her body that could mimic pneumonia symptoms. Rumors started circulating about blood on her pillow and a suspicious trail from her bedroom to the bathroom, painting a much darker picture. What made it even more chilling was the timeline. Kim reportedly made a 911 call at 2:43 a.m., but help didn't arrive until hours later when Kamora Lee Simmons found her around 11 a.m. That delay raised major red flags. Kim's family has been suspicious from the start. They've allegedly spoken with the FBI about pursuing a wrongful death lawsuit against Diddy, but investigators have reportedly urged them to stay silent to avoid compromising the case. And if you're wondering why Diddy would even take out his own partner at the time, well, it turns out Kim was working on a tell-all book that supposedly detailed Diddy's freaky activities and how she suffered years of mistreatment at his hands, much like what Cassie endured during their 11-year relationship. This gained even more traction when a new witness from Diddy's legal mess allegedly came forward to reveal Kim's lost manuscript. The witness claimed to have 11 flash drives containing Kim's manuscript and the videos that show Diddy's freak-offs with multiple celebrities. 2 of them were even minors. Yikes.
Mr. Burgess is delivering that truth. Mr. Burgess actually told me that he believed that the purpose of that gag order letter that was written by Mark Agnifilo on November 3rd was because Diddy knew that it was Courtney who was bringing this information and said...
And let's not forget about Kim's ex, Al B. Sure, who also faced a horrific ordeal. He ended up in a coma for 2 months. While he hasn't disclosed the full details publicly, reports suggest that he was also working on a tell-all book about Diddy's shady freak-off lifestyle.
Is known as the ambassador of New Jack Swing and R&B. He toured the world and won lots of awards, but in the blink of an eye, it was almost all taken away. When he got sick, he fell into a coma.
Another name that has a chilling similar case is Andre Harrell, a key figure in the music industry. Andre was reportedly working on a manuscript that aimed to expose the industry's darkest secrets, including how powerful figures allegedly use substances and manipulation to control and silence others. He was also planning to reveal how Diddy, with the help of Clive Davis, replaced him as an industry heavyweight. Tragically, before he could release these explosive revelations, Andre was found dead under suspicious circumstances.
Left Andre Harrell's house. Puff told me I didn't have to go. I knew that somebody was going to die that
Music
night.
Today, the founder of Uptown Records passed. Andre Harrell died late Thursday at his home in California. Harrell gave rapper Sean Puff Daddy Combs his first big break.
But the eerie connections don't stop there. There's also Heavy D, another notable figure in the industry. Heavy D, known for his larger-than-life personality and contributions to hip-hop, died suddenly in 2011 at the age of 44. The official cause was listed as a pulmonary embolism, but many have questioned whether his death was just another case in this pattern of untimely and mysterious losses among those who had a close connection to Diddy. In case you didn't know, these two were tight back in the day. Heavy D was one of Diddy's early mentors, guiding him in his early years in the music industry. But as time went on, it seemed like Diddy was gunning for that heavyweight title all to himself. Allegedly, Diddy felt threatened by Heavy D's success and influence, and some believe that this tension may have led to Heavy D's untimely passing. Interestingly, the list of celebrities who mysteriously died from pneumonia, heart attacks, or drowning, often reportedly linked to overdoses, is longer than you might think. Whitney Houston and her daughter, Bobby Christina, are among the most high-profile cases. Then there's Matthew Perry, who tragically passed away in his hot tub. And let's not forget Brittany Murphy, who also died from pneumonia, and her husband, Simon Monjack, who died just 5 months later from similar causes. Bernie Mac also passed under eerily similar circumstances. At this point, it's really not hard to wonder if Diddy somehow had a link to these deaths, right? And according to some sources, Ellen knew about these suspicious deaths and supposedly kept her mouth shut. Well, considering how she was also allegedly aware of Twitch's situation, it's not too far-fetched to think she might have protected Diddy from the law. After all, if she was willing to turn a blind eye to the darker side of the industry, could she have done the same for Diddy? Ellen and Diddy go way back. And for the longest time, people just assumed they were industry buddies, nothing more. But fans started catching on when Ellen low-key separated herself as soon as Diddy's legal mess hit the fan. Suddenly, she was acting like she didn't even know the guy, pulling that never-met-him vibe. But the drama doesn't end there. Ellen's reaction to paparazzi questions about Diddy raised even more suspicions. When she was pressed about the allegations against him, She looked genuinely rattled.
Ellen, were you surprised by the allegations about P. Diddy? Did that surprise you?
Things got really messy when rumors about Ellen's less than sunny attitude started to circulate. The charming, cheerful persona she projected on TV didn't quite match up with the reality of how she treated people behind the scenes. Former staffers came forward, revealing a toxic work environment, with some describing Ellen as difficult to work with. The allegations piled up, and in 2020, Ellen's talk show faced a major backlash. Kathy Griffin, who had some serious history with Ellen, spilled some tea in her memoir. While she didn't name Ellen directly, it was pretty clear who she was talking about. Short blonde hair, a reputation for being less than pleasant, Kathy reflected on the tension between them, dating back to 2007 when Ellen threw shade at her during a monologue, leaving Kathy with a sour taste. As a fellow comedian, Kathy had hoped for some solidarity from Ellen, but didn't get it. In her memoir, she revealed, "I'm apparently not her cup of tea, but I think she's great." She didn't hold back in praising Ellen's achievements, but it was clear that their relationship wasn't exactly warm. Kathy also recalled a conversation where she expressed a wish for more support among women, especially influential ones like Ellen. Ellen's response, "I don't have to have anybody on my show I don't like." That moment became another point of contention, especially when Kathy later commented on how Ellen's treatment of women in comedy wasn't all that supportive. As it turns out, Justin also experienced these troubling encounters with Ellen. A resurfaced clip making waves online shows the pop star visibly panicking when Ellen casually touched his leg during an interview. The awkward
My baby. My baby.
The awkward moment has fans questioning if there's more to the story than meets the eye. It's hard not to wonder if Ellen might have known about Diddy's questionable treatment of Justin when he was just a teenager. Some even suggest that Diddy's influence contributed to Justin's struggles later in life, including his well-documented substance issues and personal challenges. Then, there's that painfully awkward video where Diddy bluntly asked Justin why he hasn't reached out in 3 years. Justin's discomfort is written all over his face as he fumbles for an explanation, leaving viewers cringing at the tension.
And everything starting to act different, huh? You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well, I mean, you try to get in contact with me, through all my, partners and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But you never really got my number, so.
Correct. Okay.
My number?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you my number.
Yeah.
It's 555.
If that wasn't enough to raise eyebrows, more viral clips have resurfaced, highlighting just how much influence Diddy seemed to have over Justin. One clip making the rounds again is linked to the infamous Lil Rod and Cassie lawsuit. It allegedly shows Justin getting a bit too cozy with Odell Beckham Jr. at one of Diddy's notorious parties. And in the background, Trey Songz casually hanging out like it's just another night. Some people have tried to defend Justin, suggesting he may have indulged a little too heavily in party favors that night, if you catch the drift. But others are convinced he was fully aware of what was going on. In the video, Justin's lips appear noticeably wet, and his reaction when he spots the camera is priceless. Pure panic, like he knows he's caught in the act. Another video making the round shows Diddy and The Game handing drink after drink to Justin at yet another wild party. In the clip, Justin looks like he can barely stay on his feet, but they just keep pouring more into his cup, almost like it's some kind of game. It's a shock.
Welcome to the family, John.
It's a shocking sight and raises serious questions about what's really going on behind the scenes. Why was no one stepping in to stop this? And what kind of environment was Justin being exposed to during these parties? In that same viral clip, there are claims that Justin was under the influence and taken advantage of multiple times that night. And honestly, when you connect the dots to Diddy's 14-page indictment and the feds raiding his homes, finding 1,000 bottles of baby oil and a leftover IV bag, it just adds another layer of sadness to the whole story. Justin was just a kid, manipulated and used, and it's genuinely heartbreaking to think about. When Justin started spiraling publicly, rocking bizarre outfits, looking like a train wreck on the streets, people were quick to tear him down. Instead of trying to understand the pain he was going through, the internet turned into a judge, jury, and executioner. Now, insider sources are hinting that Diddy wasn't the only one responsible for dragging Justin into this mess. Apparently, Justin is finally ready to break his silence and call out not just Diddy, but the people in his inner circle who protected him and even participated in the chaos. If this is true, it could be the moment Justin reclaims his narrative and shines a light on the dark corners of the industry. Now, what do you think about this? Do you believe the real reason Ellen left the U.S. is tied to Diddy's mess? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And while you're at it, don't forget to like, subscribe, and check out our other videos for more juicy updates like this. See you there.